All right, let's do it.
We're live.
Yep.
I'm only seeing a chart on the screen. I'm not seeing Mackie or Bakes.
Yeah, I see you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're all on the side.
To the right of the chart.
Oh, I see me now. All right, good. All right, good morning, guys.
Top of the morning to you.
Yo.
Top of the morning.
Especially to my West Coast friends.
It is.
I'm getting like a
getting
20-second
early.
delay on Steve.
Yeah, we're
Are
all on
you?
the side. Should
To
be
the
good.
right of the chart.
Oh, I see me now.
I'm getting like a crazy delay.
Yeah, I want. Do
good
you
morning,
have
guys.
any other tabs open yet? Okay, let's. Everybody just like mute themselves real quick and then unmute.
Especially to my West Coast friends.
I'm getting like a 20-second delay on Steve. There's me saying the delay thing the first time.
Yeah, that's really delayed.
I'm getting like a crazy delay.
Yeah, I want.
Do we all log out and log back in?
Everybody just like mute themselves real quick and then unmute. Let's try it one more time. Yeah, maybe.
I'm getting like a 20-second delay on Steve.
Is that better? You there, gang?
Yep, we're here. Riverside is not cooperating this morning.
Good thing Ben's not on.
He doesn't like. He's not a fan of Riverside.
Uh,
He is not a fan of Riverside.
yeah, Jeff, maybe if you could actually just hop off and hop back on one more time, I really would appreciate it. I think that will solve it.
Yeah, I will give it a shot.
So, Bakes, is it getting cold where you are yet?
Not by my standards. I'm still in shorts, so. But you know, I've got a layer of courtesy fat, so I could hibernate at any given moment. So I don't own a sweater. You really can't go by me.
No, you're not a good indicator. All right.
How
I'm the
about
same.
in San Francisco?
It's chilly, but it's not. Yeah, I'm with you. I wear shorts. I grew up in Washington D.C. area, and I wore shorts in the wintertime. So
I love DC. My son and fiance live there.
oh, do they? That's nice.
Fabulous city.
Yeah, it is. All right, we're waiting for Bakes to come back. I mean, we're waiting for Mackie to come back on, and then we'll get the show on the road. Gave us some time to get some people to start listening, get us to retweet this thing.
Yeah, I'm doing that right now.
And yeah, while everybody's waiting, they can retweet it too. That would be nice.
No, Mackie's getting the pinwheel of death. Oh God. Okay.
Mackie's. See, that's what happens when you live at the beach. They just don't. There's no internet connection down there at the beach.
It's a cross you have to bear.
Exactly. They don't let you. They don't want you accessing the internet while you're surfing, or skating, or tanning. Can see Jeff doing all those things.
I could see
Simultaneously.
Exactly.
Oy. Well, gosh.
Did you get your bars, Bakes?
I did, my friend. Thank you.
And do you have an opinion?
They're delicious. I'm a fan. I'm an absolute fan.
They're way too good. Like I have to stop myself. like really.
So I throw one in my car, one in my bag. So if I'm running late, I can just get a quick meal in. But while I go someplace, it's great. No, you have a winner, I think.
Yeah. Well, and especially once you said like had the same amount of caffeine of like a Diet Coke or a Coke, that really made it difference for me because I was like, because you could just have like protein bars, but then I was like, oh, like if I need actual like energy boost, like this is the bar I use. Like,
Yeah, and it's got
um,
got the L-theanine in it, so it doesn't give you the jitters.
All right,
okay,
Mackey's
yeah,
out.
Mackey's
Mackey's
out.
out. You see
Okay,
that?
yeah,
He says he's done.
dang
All right,
Riverside. Okay,
all right. So me and Makes will talk.
yep.
Any symbols for you, Steve?
No, I was just gonna talk kind of more macro retail sales, kind of meh, and what we just got consumer confidence, which was kind of shitty, and I just kind of bigger picture markets, thin trading week. I don't know. You can just chat about what you're seeing in the charts, kind of on a macro level, just with the big indices.
Well, what I wasn't going to talk about this, but since we have Mackey's time here, what strikes me about the spies is the down volume, is picking up on the down days, obviously, and the up volume is pretty anemic, as you see here. And look at this 650 line. That's 6,500 for the. I'm using SPY, but this 650 level or
Kind of important.
6,500 in the index, is and it kind of plays into what we were talking about the other day. I don't think you were on the show. I think it was Ben and Charlie. But Nvidia and J.P. Morgan are kind of the two generals that we're watching, and I can talk about Nvidia a little bit later. But if you see it close below 650, and this week is like you say is suspicious because the volume normally dries up. But even still, this is a half-hearted rally, no matter how you look at it. And I mean, we're down for the day now, so uh, I'm I'm uh, I'm 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 very suspicious of this. Nvidia will talk about. J.P. Morgan doesn't look as bad, and I'll do the Qs too. I bet you they look the same. I didn't look at those. Yeah, it's the same kind of thing. We've already taken out these October lows. Charlie's been talking about the monthly reversal, and
Yeah,
with
Charlie's been
Nvidia,
saying look out for the banks, watch Nvidia, watch JP Morgan. If those break, then watch out below.
well, and just because those are sort of mom and apple pie, those are beloved names and over owned and huge weights in the S&P, and if they can't keep interest going, especially with Nvidia's blowout earnings, if that report didn't get the stock going, I don't know what the hell's going to.
Yep.
So you have to at least take a pause and then watch for levels where it either confirms a downtrend or it's a head fake and we go off to the races again. Google, I'm so impressed with Google, it's unbelievable. It's incredible what that company's done.
Yeah. Well, and they got quite a few assets there that are private, like Waymo, that could be monetized
And
in the public markets.
yeah, and Gemini 3 is getting rave reviews. And they just see it now. What I know about large language models, you could probably fit into a thimble. But what it seems to me from all the podcasts I listen to is that in this game of LLM leapfrog, they just won the last leap, and it gets really big reviews. And if Marson is pretty bearish on OpenAI, but it's private, so it doesn't really matter. But the Google looks like it's one. It looks extended to me. I wouldn't buy it here. It looks like
Yeah.
it wants to come back in, but damn, it's very impressive. But it's not enough to keep the
And all that. I remember all the chatter about OpenAI taking their search business, and this thing traded down to like 150, 160. And I
Yep.
remember
Yep.
Ben and I were selling puts at the 125 level and saying, come take me out. I'll buy the stock all day long at that level, and look at it now. Unbelievable.
It's incredible. This kills me. I own this back in. I went out there. Is it Mountain View? I think it's Mountain View.
Yep.
I went out there during the financial crisis, and the CFO was late because he was on the phone with Goldman Sachs, making sure that he could access his billions in cash. And so the meeting started late. and I owned it, and I got like a 35% profit back then, and I was so skittish, shell shocked by the great financial crisis that I sold it out, and I want to go back and punch myself in the face in a
Yeah.
god awful, god awful.
Can't own enough of that one for
I
sure.
snatched defeat from the jaws of victory.
You sure did. All right, so let's go back to the cues for a second. So give us the levels on that where you think watch out. I think you said 6,500 on S&P and
Yeah, and I think, sorry,
QQQ's levels are what? 580?
yeah, I'm looking at this 583 high from July. It looks like we're already testing it, and it's also this low. I can't. Here we go. This low is right around the same area in October. So it's the same kind of thing. Taking out the October lows means you get a monthly reversal.
Yep.
But that's 20 points from where we are. Right? This is obviously the Qs. You multiply by 10 for the real index. So Google is trying to keep this thing above that, and we'll see if it does it. We'll see if it doesn't.
And what about Bitcoin? Is there still? I think there's still some concern about that. Given the deleverage that's already happened, that thing's already down 30% from the highs.
Yeah, and I don't have the Bitcoin chart in front of me, but I have two things. I've got, and I forget the exact level, but we spent too much time underneath that 94 somewhat level that I mentioned in our members chat.
Yep.
This so that's already violated, and I think the next level was 89 somewhat. I don't have it in front of me, but the damage is clearly done. This is the they all look like this. This is the Bitwise Bitcoin ETF, and you've already taken.
What's the ticker for that, Bakes?
Sorry about that. BITB.
BITB. Okay.
All right. Here's the close below the 200-day. The 200 days turned down. The 50 day is going to cross to the 200 pretty soon. So I was out here around 60. Here we are at 46.95. But this is why I look at volume. I mean, this can't get a bid.
Yeah.
And I'm struck by.
And the down volume is pretty significant. Look at that.
Right. I mean, you don't have to be a dyed-in-the-wool chartist to look at that and say, okay, it's going to have a hard time having anything more than dead cat bounces, in my opinion. And then this level over here is 41. So I think roughly around, below. I don't want to speak. We did a lot of damage to Bitcoin itself. Anytime it goes below the round numbers, 90, 80,000, 70,000, it's got a problem. And I got another point I want to make here, but
do it.
This is MicroStrategy. I mean, Saylor is defiant on the dais of some conference a little while ago, but I mean, this is just relentless, absolutely relentless. So there's something really wrong here, and just to I like to.
Yeah, and I saw an article. I saw something over the weekend, Bakes, that I shared with Jarius about the Bitcoin. These Bitcoin ETFs no longer being allowed in the indices because they could be considered a commodity.
Huh.
And there was some ruling that happened around in the October timeframe. It kind of signaled that could be coming in January, and if that happens, people that own these things in the indices gotta dump them. So I think part of this too is a lot of front running that in the event that does happen. This could be just the beginning.
Yeah, and I think what seems to be happening is that the thought that this is digital gold for right now is debunked, and it's basically a risk asset, and it trades with a high correlation to the Qs. And if the Qs are rolling over, then Bitcoin's rolling over, and leverage Bitcoin, i.e., strategy, is really rolling over. So, and I'm struck by this. This is what I mentioned this in the chat, and I was going to talk about this on the show. This is BITI, the ProShares short Bitcoin.
Yep.
And it's the inverse, right? Look at the up volume. Look at it's picking, and look at the 200 days. If you squint, I mean, it's just literally over the last 2 days turned up, and then look at the long term here. Look at this, right? I
Whoa.
mean, so that to me looks like a reversal.
Sure does.
And I haven't put I'm just a weirdo. I like to have the 50-day confirm coming up through the 200, but that looks to me like Bitcoin's in trouble.
What's the ticker for the? Is that it?
BITI.
That's BITI. So that's short one. That's levered. Is that levered short?
No,
or just short?
no.
Not
I
levered short.
there's enough volatility in this world. I don't need.
You don't need.
Well, especially because
leverage on Bitcoin.
these are daily, right? So it's basically it isn't year over year. It's tied to the daily moves. So it isn't. It's an imperfect short vehicle, but it's what we have. So now obviously you can go into the futures and short those and what have you. But
Yep.
and I know Ben's here. It's using the options I think to play this.
Yeah, I think he's been long the puts,
Here we go. That's right.
or here he's probably long the calls. I'm not sure how liquid these are though.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, this trade's 2.6 million a day. So
Yep.
I mean, that's plenty liquid, in my opinion.
What about the what I was going to ask Mackie before he had his internet troubles was the Walmart, the Amazon, the Costco, those charts. I was going to ask him about the fundamentals, and I mean these guys have obviously been the winners versus the specialty retailers. And you just does he keep riding these winners, or is there some opportunity in these specialty retailers that have been hitting hard?
I just, I have a hard time buying Walmart. It's the same kind of thing as J.P. Morgan and Nvidia. It's mom and apple pie. It's
Yeah.
priced accordingly. But the fact that it was up, and it put out a phenomenal earnings report while Target was throwing up on its shoes, is Walmart is so impressive. The management team is so impressive. It's unbelievable. There are no excuses. It's just, hey, we're gonna. Tariffs, yeah, we got that. Consumer trading down. we got
Amazon,
that.
okay, no problem. We got it.
So, Walmart, it looks terrific to me. Amazon, I don't think so. Amazon it closed this gap that you see over here,
Yep.
and now it's testing the 200-day, which is now coming down. So, and I don't know what to make of this. The volume looks okay to me, but again, if earnings can't sustain upside, what the hell can? And this is also tied into, is the AI tide going out to a certain extent? And I don't know the answer to that. It sure feels like it. It sure feels like it.
Yeah, Ben and I were talking about that the other day too, and you got to believe, I mean, with so many things we've seen over the years, that software ultimately makes these infrastructure plays more efficient. So you need less of the infrastructure, you need less of the chips as software finds ways to make them more efficient. You just don't need as many of these things anymore. So you got to believe that this has got to slow down.
Yeah, and that has not showed up in AWS yet, but maybe that's coming, and that's what the market is stiffing out.
Yep, for sure. All right, anything else you want to talk about before we wrap this? I got a 7:30 I got to be at.
Okay, let me two quick things.
All right.
And then we'll get you out of here. Here's NVIDIA, and I bring this up because I'm a part of this J.P. Morgan dynamic. It's right now. It's below, for the first time, below the October low, and this is relatively short term, but that's going to, if we have this monthly reversal that Charlie's been talking about, that's going to look a little bit ugly. The volume is not as horrific as some of the others, but it's still elevated on the down days. The relative strength line is taking out a low. So it's just,
So what's the level there on NVIDIA that you're looking at? Is it
a close here would make the monthly look ugly, and the next level is 164.
Okay,
so we're already violating 176, the October low, and
that's not good.
You know, I mean, but look at this is the long term chart. But you're seeing, and I just keep coming back to the same thing. If earnings don't make stocks go up, what the hell's going to? And the announcements of all these partnerships, that doesn't move the stocks up anymore. White House visits don't do it. So
signing bras don't do it.
Something's wrong. It just is.
Yep.
So lastly, and I wish Jeff was here. Goodbye, Sister Visco. One of the best Who songs ever.
Speaking of signing bras,
one of the best Who songs ever. Victoria's Secret, VSCO. This is a pretty chart, and I don't have any idea why this is turning around. Maybe political correctness is dead, so that you can have the fashion shows. I don't know, but the business is clearly getting better, and when earnings are coming up in 10 days, in this case, and the market clearly thinks something good is happening. And a lot of it might just be rotation. The big pharma companies are getting a bid because of Nvidia's woes, and maybe apparel is getting a bid because people are looking around for things to do at the end of the year. But that's a pretty chart. I don't care, it just is. It's a pretty chart.
Jenny, do you know why Victoria's Secret's going up? Is that why you joined? You were going to tell us?
I did. Well, I actually went into Victoria's Secret for the first time in probably 6 years last week.
Really?
Yeah, last week. And I bought so much that I got this free lovely bag, and I was like, who am I? Like, I felt like
you're a customer there shopping. They wanted to reward you.
Yep.
That hasn't happened in a while. So the store was nice. It was a nice experience. They've cleaned it up and.
Yeah, and they what they're also doing with influencers is interesting because they brought back the Victoria's Secret fashion show like full-fledged this year, and they had a lot of different body types and that whole thing that they're doing, but it was really like the classic Victoria's Secret fashion show, and I think that's maybe has something to do with it.
Okay, well, it got you in there after 6 years, so
It did.
That's something.
I like it. All
right, let's wrap it. I think we're gonna wrap it for the week as well. Give everybody the Wednesday before Thanksgiving off, and Friday. Are we doing Friday, Jenny? I don't think we are. No, we're not doing Friday.
We'll be back Monday.
Okay, so we'll be back Monday. So thanks for joining us, everybody, on Wall Street Beats. Thank you, Mr. Baker. Good to see you as always. Thank you, Jenny, for producing and giving us your thoughts on Victoria's Secret.
Yeah,
that's good to know. And we'll see you back here on Monday. Follow us on wallstreetbeats.com and on passes.com/wallstreetbeats. And enjoy those bars, guys.
Thank you very
Einstein
much.
Energy.
Yes.
Enjoy.
Love the Einstein.
Tell
Have
your
a wonderful
friends.
Thanksgiving. Thanks, Jenny.
Tell your friends. Bye, guys.